Hello, everyone. Namaste, peace and blessings. Thank you so much for joining me in our restorative flow. Items we may need for our session are yoga blocks, bolster pillows, maybe a blanket, some water or some tea, anything we feel we may need to help us relax and wind down. And once again, thank you so much for joining. Let's get started. So, we're going to start our restorative flow with a couple of warm up poses before we go into our restorative session. As we start in a comfortable seated pose, any easy seat that feels good for you, may you find that position. As we are using our easy seat to help relax, wind down the mind and body. Tummies are tucked in at the navel, spinal cords are nice elongated. Shoulders relax downward away from the ears. Slightly gaze in the eyes downward or closing the eyes. As we take a nice deep intentional breath in, exhale. Breathe in deeply. Exhale. Noticing how the breath feels within the body as we breathe our palms at heart center. 3 breaths. 2. Exhaling our palms onto our laps. We're going to do a couple of circular rotations at our hips. Loosening and warming up the spine, the hip flexors. 5 breaths. 2. We're going to find that pause and rotate in the opposite direction. 4 more breaths. 2. Finding that pause at center. Breathing our palms up in the air, feeling that nice deep stretch. Fingertips flows up towards the heavens, elongating that spine. Interlacing those fingers with that pointed finger pointing up towards the heavens, allowing the arms to slightly flow towards the back of the room. You'll feel your pelvic bone tilts forward, your heart chakra is lifted, your chin is up. 3 breaths. Exhaling back to center, separating those palms. We are in that seated extended mountain as we twist the body towards the right. Palms come down, gazing over that right shoulder, coming into that seated twist. 3 more breaths. Exhaling back to center, coming into that seated star. Palms are out towards the side. Nice deep breath. Exhale, twist the body towards the left. Palms come down, gazing over your left shoulder. 3 breaths. Exhaling back to center. We're going to grab a bolster pillow. Place it in front of us. We're going to come into a bound position with the bottoms of our feet connecting. This is the diamond or a butterfly pose. Can keep our backs nice and elongated, and we're going to slightly hinge at the hips. Instead of coming into a butterfly, let's come into a diamond. The feet are further away from the body. It's not a deep stretch. And we're going to hinge forward and relax on our pillow. Shoulders melt forward. Heart chakra comes close towards the earth. Eyes gaze downward or closed. We're going to hold this pose for 30 seconds. Ten more seconds. Take a nice breath. Exhale. Shoulders melt forward, eyes are still gazed down. 5 more breaths. Using our palms to push our bodies up, we are back into that bound position. And we're going to breathe our legs together, coming into a staff pose, bringing our legs parallel side by side. Optioning to bring that pillow back in front of us as we hinge at the hips, coming into a seated forward or half forward fold, whatever feels best for you. Allowing the heart to come downward towards the thighs, allowing the eyes to gaze downward or close as our shoulder blades melts forward. Breathe in. Exhale. "30 seconds. Ten more seconds. Take a nice deep breath. Exhale as we slowly come up to that staff pose. Optioning to grab a pillow or a yoga block, we're going to come into a reclined position, relaxing our bodies onto our yoga block or our bolster pillow, placing it at the center of our backs and our thoracic spine as we lay and relax. Grabbing another pillow for our head or our neck, whatever feels best for you. And you'll notice that your chest is lifted forward. Heart chakra's up. Allowing the legs to be parallel side by side, or we can option to bend our knees if that feels best. Relaxing our palms on our bodies or beside our bodies. As we take a nice breath, exhale, allowing the shoulder blades to melt towards the back, completely allowing that body to relax and soothe. We are in our first restorative flow. May we find our comfortable position. with the eyes gazed down. We're going to hold this pose for 4 to 5 minutes. Allowing the body to completely relax. Letting go. Breathe in. Exhale. Two more minutes. Taking a nice breath. Exhale. Hold in this position, and we're going to come into a supported bridge pose. Breathing our feet flat on the earth, knees are in the air. We're going to lift our gluteus maximus off the earth. And place that block or pillow right underneath that buttocks. And we can remove that pillow from our neck, behind our head, if that feels good in our supported bridge, or we can place the pillow at our head and our neck as well. Just noticing how this feels at your lumbar spine. Our palms are relaxed, eyes are gazed down. We can keep our knees bent in our supportive bridge. Optioning to straighten the legs, noticing how it feels when our legs are parallel side by side. We're going to hold this 4 minutes. Mm. 2 more minutes. With our knees up in the air and our feet flat on the earth and our bridge pose, we're going to window wipe our legs from side to side. Just taking a moment to feel this in the lumbar spine. Nice and slow. Two more breaths. Using our feet to lift our gluteus maximus off the earth, squeezing that buttocks. We're going to remove that pillow, relaxing our buttocks onto the earth, removing the pillow from our necks and our head if there's a pillow there. We're going to work on legs on a wall pose, optioning to go up close to a wall for most comfort. Waterfall pose, aka legs on the wall. And we can hang out here, or we can also come wide-legged. Maybe trying both poses or varying between the two. Legs on the wall, waterfall pose, 4 to 5 minutes. 2 more minutes. Mm. 'We're going to hug our knees into our chest, and we're going to roll onto our side, coming into a fetal pose, optioning to use some pillows between our knees to keep our hip at a nice level distance, and placing a pillow at our neck or a bolster blanket, relaxing blanket to help soothe. We're going to allow our eyes to gaze downward or close here in our fetal pose. Just feel in the body, become one with the earth. We're going to hold this for 2 minutes. Ten more seconds. Taking a nice breath. Exhale. Using that top hand to breathe our bodies to our hands and our knees as we flow into a puppy pose or a child's pose. Whatever feels best for you. We're going to grab our pillows, our bolsters, place them in front of us if that feels good, and allow our bodies to relax and soothe. Eyes are gazed down, shoulder blades melt forward. Take a nice deep breath. Exhale, filling those eyes, gaze down or close. We're going to hold this for 4 to 5 minutes. 30 more seconds. Taking a nice deep breath. Exhale. We're going to remove that pillow from in front of us. We're going to come onto our tummies, coming into a sleeping alligator. Just laying flat on our tummies. We can place a yoga blanket in front of us if that feels good, or a nice small pillow, and stack our hands if that feels best, and just allow our bodies to melt forward. Eyes gaze downward or close. Breathe in. Exhale. 4 minutes. Take a nice breath. Exhale. 2 more minutes. Taking a nice breath. Exhale. And we're going to flow into a fetal position on the opposite side. Placing a pillow between your knees to level your hips. Placing something at your neck to soothe your cervical spine. Fill in the eyes. Gaze down to close. 2 minutes. Mm. 60 more seconds. Taking a nice breath. Exhale. And we're going to roll back onto our backs, coming into a reclined position. And we're going to be in a bound position, coming into that reclined butterfly. Optioning to place something underneath your back if that feels best for you. Or we can grab our yoga blocks and place them on the side of each hip. This way, in our reclined butterfly, we are not overstretching and just allowing our side bodies, our hips to relax on the yoga blocks. And feeling your shoulder blades melt back into the earth. The bottoms of our feet are connecting. Eyes are gazed downward or closed. Optioning to grab a blanket and cover yourself if that feels good. We're going to hold this pose for 4 to 5 minutes. 90 more seconds. 30 more seconds. Take in a nice deep breath. Exhale. Breathing our legs inwards, removing those yoga blocks from the sides of our bodies. And we're going to hug our knees into our chest. Recline spinal twist left side, allowing the knees to flow towards the left, feeling that spinal cord twist. The right arm comes out to the side like a lowercase t. Shoulder blades are melted close to the earth. We can option to gaze up at the heavens or gaze over that right shoulder. 2 minutes. Optioning to come into a reclined spinal twist hand to toe, if that feels good. Mm. 60 more seconds. Mm. Take a nice deep breath in. Exhale, hugging knees into the chest. As we flow our knees to the opposite, recline spinal twist. Knees flows towards the right. Left arm goes out like a lowercase t. And we can gaze up at the heavens or we can gaze over that left shoulder. Allowing our shoulder blades to melt back into the yoga mat. Eyes gaze downward or closed. Optioning to hand to toe, spinal twist, if that feels good. And we're going to relax and soothe. 2 breaths. I'm sorry, 2 minutes. Mm. 30 more seconds. Exhaling back to center, hugging those knees into the chest. Let's lift our torso off the earth and try to breathe our bodies towards our thighs, just feeling that nice deep squeeze. Exhaling, legs up in the air, coming wide-legged. Breathing those legs towards our torso. Connecting our hands to the backs of our legs or our feet and feeling that stretch. 3, 2, 1. Exhaling those legs together, hugging the knees into the chest, relaxing that torso onto the earth. Shoulder blades connects to the earth as we take a nice deep breath in through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Extending our legs. Shavasana, rest pose. Legs are parallel side by side. The sides of our feet are connecting. Shoulder blades are connected to the yoga mat. We're going to allow our feet to flow to the side, completely relaxing our legs. Placing our arms and our palms any place that feels comfortable for us. Optioning to grab a blanket and wrap your bodies up. Eyes are gazed downward or closed. Shavasana, rest pose. 4 minutes. 30 more seconds. We can option to stay in our rest pose, or we can roll onto our side and come into a fetal pose. Another option is to come up into a seated pose, finding any seated seat that feels best for you. Allowing our eyes to continue to stay gazed downward or closed. If we're in a seated pose, our spinal cords are nice and elongated. Shoulders relax downward away from our ears. Tummies are tucked in at our navel. May we breathe our palms at heart center. Taking a moment to thank ourselves for allowing ourselves to practice restorative yoga here today. For in a busy, busy world, it is a beautiful thing when we find time for self. Now, I'd like to thank you all for allowing me to practice self-care with you here today, for it truly, truly is a blessing. The light in me sees, appreciates, and respects the light in you all. Namaste. Have a great weekend. Peace and blessings. Thank you all.